Wow. This thing is flying. Well, we lost half the crew just trying to get this thing set up, so there's no telling what's going to happen out there. But I will say that it looks like the league name could be appropriate today because it's entirely possible that we see a rainbow out here in these weather conditions. Yeah, this is actually I love this course in the dry conditions. I've never actually raced it in the rain, but as far as dry conditions, I love this track. But yeah, I'm not, and it's not one you think of. You know what I mean? Like you think of tracks that you really enjoy. This one never comes to mind, but I always enjoy racing it. It's just one of those kind of tracks, I guess. Well, so I got a question for you, Howie. We're just going to do this live right here on the air. So when I have obviously incidents popping up, do you think that I should show all these spins or just kind of let them do their own thing? Maybe show a little bit. Well, that's entirely possible. So, yes, so you can't hear Howie. That's about right for that's par for the course for today. Let me see here. Um, I would say talk, but they can't hear you, so that's not going to do us any good. Yeah, and it's not giving me aux 2 as an option. Okay, I've got it on Discord right now, and it should be showing. All right, I'm going to work on this problem here. I'm going to put the race on for you guys, and I'm going to try to figure this out real quick. We'll be right back and enjoy the racing. Yeah, see, it's not giving me.
You very quickly share it to me.
Oh, wait a minute. You just showed up. Hold up. You're not muted.
Maybe I am here. Hello, hello, hello.
All right, well, I think we've got this. Now we need whoever told us that they couldn't hear you to let us know if now they can hear you.
I'm going to introduce this race as if they can. Welcome back to this show, the Rainbow Racing F4 League. This race starts being about disrupted by the weather as it has by the iRacing sessions. It's been a chaotic evening for us all, I think, no matter where we've been. Maybe it's the curse of running up against Indy. This wet sprint race of Oschersleben has largely been a game of who's making the least mistakes. Almost everybody has had a dangerous spin out there, but what's been worth noting is Ian Miller set the only valid qualifying time, started from the pits. He's now leading this race. He's managed to punch his way through, only through the virtue, I think, of running slowly and staying out of trouble. And I think that's going to be the theme of the coming 30-minute race. We're running a new format here that means that we'll have a 15-minute sprint race, which reverses the grid for a 30-minute feature. And this 100% chance of rain has been an absolute killer on the track.
All right.
So, Jim, queuing you in for the first two-way conversation we've had in weeks, I'd like to think. You've been scrambling harder. You've been scrambling hard around your OBS to try and make this work, so I can understand if you've not quite been in tune enough to see some of the chaos on the track. But it's been mostly mistakes on mistakes on mistakes around the track. Not saying that I would do any better. It's a wet track out there, and these F4 cars are not nice in it.
I struggle in the rain as well. You know, the thing about rain is, in iRacing, you have to get off the racing line. You have to run, you have to be off the racing line when you're doing hard braking and when you're on the accelerator. Because the racing line in iRacing is extremely slick when it gets wet. If you can master that, you can go pretty good in the rain. But it's a struggle. I still struggle with it tremendously, and I've practiced a good bit. So, by the way, whoever let us know that we couldn't hear Howie, can you please let us know
It was Jessica Perry in my DMs. She's got a difficult track to contend with for the next 4 minutes as she slips it again into the first turn. I mean, a lot of these turns are a lot of fun in the dry, and they stop becoming very fun in the wet. Another challenging part about this track, you really, really want to abuse the painted surfaces and the curbs in the dry. It's a lot of fun to loop around this place in the dry, but suddenly everything becomes a death trap in the rain. Every last corner has been a struggle, with about 9 laps estimated. Make it lap 7 out of 9 once Ian Miller crosses the line here. And only about 4 minutes of running to go. Everybody's just about tiptoeing, just trying to make sure they make it home.
Yeah, this was this is tough conditions for sure. I'm glad I'm not out there racing right now. So like I said, I made a decision earlier, even though you couldn't hear Howie when we were discussing it, whether to show everybody's crashes or not. I will pick and choose and show some, but I'm going to try not to pick on anyone, and just, you know, if they're struggling, there's no need to focus on them over and over again, you know.
It's never an insult. I consider it a learning experience. I have the easy job today. My easy job is not being there. They have the hard job of just trying to concentrate and survive. We had some incident count approach 40 in the first warm-up practice session of an hour, so people had a lot of time really learning the limits. We'll find out what the incidents were like at the end of this first sprint race. One that Ian Miller from the back has set himself up excellently to run, and if he doesn't spin it or loop it, he's going to have an easy sprint win. I believe there are points on offer, and most importantly, you get the coveted last place in the feature race. But he's done it once. He could very much do it again in that Trevor Project Rainbow car.
So yeah, that is a change. I'm not sure if we talked about that when you could hear Howie or not. So we made a change after last week, and we have decided to go with a 15-minute sprint race after qualifying, and then a 30-minute feature race. And the feature race, we will reverse the grid based on the finishing order in the heat race. So it should make it a little more exciting. We're going to have cars a little closer together. We'll bring them back together if they get spread out when we do the 30-minute race, so that'll be good. Today, you know, they may still spread out a little bit today because of the rainy conditions and other people struggling a little more than some or whatever with the rain. But yeah, it's going to be better and more fun, I think, as the series goes on and as we slowly grow the grid and build the series up. So, and by the way, if you're watching this, invite one friend to come race this series. Obviously, if you're watching this, you support what this league stands for, and in doing so, invite somebody out to come race and come race yourself, and you know, let's grow this grid and make it large and nice. All right.
I can't be there. I can't be there, and I've confirmed with the power of my own ears, by the way, that I'm definitely hearable on the live stream. Right, apologies for any technical issues at the start. This evening has been a scramble, and not just for us, but for everyone. We even thought that we'd have to restart the session a third time. iRacing's Heat UI is from the Stone Age.
By the way,
as someone that's had to wrangle with it, that's the case.
Since we can hear you now, I want to congratulate you on your Indy 500 finish last night. You had a good race.
Could have been better.
You ended up finishing 7th, though. That's in a 4-hour
I could have been
race.
a 5th.
Oh, really?
I hit the wall in the last stint. It was a bit frustrating, but I'm glad to make it because that race is a killer. I know it killed Jessica Perry's car. Unfortunately, you can just get so unlucky. It took me 3 attempts to even finish a Daytona 500, whereas my Indy just ran from start to finish, and I had fun. I'm really looking forward to the Open Series race next week, where we actually get to drive a car setup that isn't evil. That fixed setup is awful. That is honestly one of the biggest abominations.
It is tough. I went out and did some practice laps the other day, and I had a hard time. I'd get a few laps into the stint, and I'd start pushing out to the wall, and it was just It was rough. I struggled, and then either that or the car is wrecking loose to keep it where it will turn.
I find it hard to get loose at the 500. I find it very easy to get tight in other cars' dirty air. You just go behind a car and whoop, you're done. It's over.
Oh yeah, dirty air there's nasty for sure.
It looks as if in this race, the air has been pretty clean for Ian Miller. Started from the pit lane and is going to take a sprint win just off the back of consistency throughout this race. Has been one of the faster average lap drivers. Has been able to pass his way up the field. There's more racing to come, but Ian Miller will take the first sprint race in our new 2-race format for Rainbow Racing. Yamil Haddad, I'm expecting to be able to make it to P2 with Jane Astra, who put up a good fight early on in the race while we were scrambling for our life jackets, has made it to the 3rd position. A wet and horrible day in Oschersleben. Trust me, I've lived in Germany, and it's what it's like sometimes. So more of the same due to come, I think. We're going to see Jessica Perry finish ahead of Felipe Junqueira, with Keelan Wade and Caitlin Soderholm taking some nasty damage from a spin and needing a pit stop to finish the job. That's not the end of the excitement today. That is merely the warm-up activity. We're going to have a 5-minute warm-up now as drivers try to acquaint themselves with the conditions for our 30-minute race, where just being alive is going to be the name of the game, because trust me, this weather is not going anywhere.
Oh, I like the paint scheme on this car. You know, I'm a big military-type paint scheme person, so I like that.
I'm a big fan of Jessica's. I run Jessica Perry's design on my car, so I'm not biased.
When I was just showing it a second ago, I almost said something. I knew you were going to love the paint scheme on her car.
I ran a Miku car at my Indy 500, which is probably what blessed me with a acceptable finish.
Oh, this year, that was the car you ran?
Not like that exact design, but I certainly put her on my car. You know, there's plenty of good designs based upon the template. I actually don't think the F44 ones are as good as some of the ones available for other cars, but we use what's available on trading paints to get our Miku love through. It's just great to irritate people with it.
So we got a warm-up session, apparently, right?
Yep, 5 minutes of running where we're going to get to see a swimming pool at its absolute best.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping it was going to pop up some results. We'll see if that actually happens or not.
These things, they take time.
Yeah, well, you know, while we're waiting. Oh, there they are. Look, they just popped up.
I've got a minor audio project for you to resolve over the next 5 minutes, although it's not a critical emergency. Can you see if your voice is playing twice anywhere through 2 different channels? There's a chance, if you sound great to me on Discord, and there's a tiny echo on the stream. That's your 5-minute project, while I can happily keep people filled and entertained for the remaining 5 minutes of this warm-up. If anyone even hits the grid, trust me, this rain isn't going anywhere. It will set 100%, and it's going to keep on bearing down all over us as we reverse the grid. Caitlin Soderholm is going to start this one from pole. Ian Miller from last. He was able to start from the pit lane. I hope he makes a grid start this time. Do not be a scaredy cat away from us. See, I don't even know if that's the case. I'm just responding to feedback, Jim. I'm just responding to feedback, and I'm just passing it on. I don't even know if it's completely broken.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm playing games.
I don't see anything, but here, go over the points. Let me get rid of the. Hold on.
Oh, more stimulation for me. I like that. We're all ADHD TikTok Zoomers at heart. No, it's gone. It's over.
That was the results from the last race, by the way.
So that helps us.
Yeah,
that helps us get somewhere.
All right. So that was where we're gridding. No, we're not gridding yet. Here, I'm going to try to real quick bring up the points.
Now, you still have 3 minutes to do whatever you please. I don't even think there's many cars on the track right now.
No,
I think they're all just deciding not to hit. They're all just deciding not to hit the grid.
So that's your point standings after last week.
And I'm not sure how the points are divvied out for this 2-race format, but I believe there's some on offer for the sprint as well as the feature.
Yes, they are.
And quite a bumper schedule coming up. A couple more possibly wet rounds. We may be seeing some rain at round 7 at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and there's even a chance at round 5 at Spa, and probably quite a lot at round 9 at Zolder. Next week we're at Imola, matching a Formula 1 week. Here we go, Hot Take City, matching possibly the worst F1 week on the entire calendar. So congratulations. I'm glad we get to go to my least favorite track in iRacing. I will do my best to not complain too much on the stream next week. I just want to get it out there.
What is your least favorite track in
Imola.
iRacing?
Imola.
Oh.
What is the point of Imola? What's the point of it? I heard a great statement that all chicanes in racing can be scored on a scale of bad to why would you do this? And Imola is a why would you do this? That's where
kind of like the first chicane at Monza.
You see, no, that is on the lesser side, where it's still like bad, but like it's less like offensive, you know.
I love it. I love it when I get you to be opinionated. I love it.
We're not going to talk. Look, listen. We're not gonna. I'm not gonna fire you on the specifics of this because that would be really cruel and unusual. And also, I will be stuck in this.
How do you feel about Zolder?
I was just going to say, we'll be stuck in this conversation. It's pretty bad. We'll be stuck in this conversation. If I drew you on the specifics of this, we'll be stuck in this conversation for the next half an hour and we'll miss the race. But I'll just say, it was uniquely funny seeing you get every single F1 prediction wrong preseason. Every single one.
I did?
So, you know.
What did
I wasn't perfect either. But it was an impressive rap sheet, so...
What? I don't even remember what I picked. What?
You picked Hamilton will destroy Leclerc, no questions. That was there.
Oh,
that was absolutely up there.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. You said that Leclerc was very bad. He was about to get exposed. Same for. I think you said Sainz would destroy Albon as well. So that's 2 for 2.
I probably did say that, and I hope. Well, I know I had to say that I believed in Piastri. Because I've been a Piastri fan.
If you said that, if I don't remember that, and if you said that, that's one on the good column. Yeah. Congratulations!
Yeah, no, because I'm
celebrating it.
I'm a big Piastri fan, and to be honest, I am quickly becoming a Kimi Antonelli fan. What he's doing is quite impressive.
I'm amazed that I'm actually growing on George Russell. I didn't think it would ever happen, ever.
I don't know about that yet.
And now, though, I'm seeing him, and I'm like, actually, he's kind of consistently like not bad at this, which pains me.
He's a good driver. You know what? He just reminds me of that entitled child. You know,
that's Lando Norris.
Well, that is Lando Norris. That's why I don't like Lando Norris.
Jessica loves Lando. We can't slander too hard.
Sorry, Jessica.
But I just wanted to put it out there. 18-lap schedule for our next race, and our starting grid is reversed. Caitlin Soderholm starts on pole with Kieran Wade in Keelan. We're saying Kieran. It's Keelan Wade in 2. Felipe Junqueira in 3, with Jessica Perry in 4th, Jane Astra in 5th. Yamil Haddad in 7th, and Ian Miller, our sprint winner, in last. All hitting the grid this time. And we're going ready. Looks like everybody's on the grid, so iRacing's going to give us the jump scare any second now. And there's our green flag. A very, very slow getaway on the outside lane, and that's going to lead to the big one. Claiming the field that as a very slow launch from Keelan Wade, some wheel spin off the line. And someone call a full course caution. That's multiple meatball flags. Little apologies given on the radio. Apologies given on the radio. It's not too much rain. Keelan had a slow start here off the starting grid. And at that point, the wheel spin. Oh, there's a bit of spin on top. Very, very, if you've not done a standing start in the rain, it's very, very hard to guess.
Yeah, that was
very, very hard to nail.
Since there's not much to look out on the track, since half the field's in the pits right now, I'm going to look at this again. Yeah, clearly Keelan, got some horrible wheel spin there, which sent his car, to the right as Ian Miller was trying to come up through the center, because he did happen to get a pretty good start, and
everybody just trying to avoid a disaster, and some getting lucky in that, but the fast repair is available, so drivers are able to, after the tow, hit the grid again. So we're going to be seeing a game of two battles here. Haddad, Junqueira, and Perry are leaving the pit very close to each other. Don't go over the lines on pit exit here. This track is absolutely cruel. I'm watching them. I'm watching them like the pit hawk. First two have made it out. I always overcook it. All three have made it out. They've done it better than I would on this day. As all three make it out the pits, and they're going to have a bit of a battle at the back of this pack. Meanwhile, up front, Jane Astra and Caitlin Soderholm were able to get away from the trouble, and Ian Miller could be the hunting hawk. He was fast in the first race. I think we could see more of that if time suits us.
Oh yeah, he's he was clearly the fastest car last week, and he seemed to have the best handle on the driving in these wet conditions. Caitlin there had a big run off track, so he's gotten by her. So now he's got his sights set on Jane. And
10 seconds to make up.
Let's have a prediction. Let's have some fun here. How many laps?
It's a lock. How many laps? Oh, I'm gonna make it 6.
All right, I'm
very precise number.
I'm gonna go with 3.
I mean, Jane was a good battler up near the front earlier on in this race. I was just looking at how much Ian was sort of taking out of her time, and I sort of looked at it and thought, it's not quite enough to make a hard charge. But I think different people are taking different parts of this track. I just saw Ian Miller have quite the wobble out of the chicane there. Keeps it together. Pro tip for all those that are listening, I know Jessica is. If you're about to slide, put your feet on both pedals at once, and the car will keep pointing forward. It's like a magical cheat code. I hate that it works. It seems like it shouldn't. It works.
Really?
In this car especially, if you have ABS, it gets like ruined. But like if you lock the front, but you also put the power down, you have to sort of time it well and you not overdo it. The car sort of like the weight shifts way forwards and it sort of points itself forward. So you've got to like catch yourself in the middle of a slide, hit both down. It's a good way to just keep yourself alive. Might see a bit of it out of Ian Miller trying to save himself out of some of these situations. This pack has strung out near the back, so it's mostly about Ian's chase. About 14 laps to do it is the estimation on my end, as Felipe Junqueira, he's gone off, and Jessica Perry makes the pass for 6th.
Yeah, this is brutal conditions. And just for the record, I wanted to let everybody know that I tried to talk Jessica out of this rain.
You need a bit of rain. You
do.
I know that you're like the rules committee here.
No. This is all I said, okay? I just suggested that you get rid of the rain, because rain has a tendency to scare people off. And especially if and I'm not insulting anyone, but the less skilled you are, the rain is more intimidating, because I know it intimidates me. And all I suggested was maybe for this first season that we don't run rain, to try to build the field up, and and they took a vote and on the Discord, and rain won out, and that's where we're at. And that's fine, but
Jim, you've already changed the race format. What are you going to do to the track schedule now?
To the track schedule? No, I'm good with the track schedule. I'm good. I like it. Actually, I thought she picks great tracks, and apparently she loves making race schedules, because she's already got it planned out into season 3. she, she really likes
I
making...
agonize over making race schedules. When I ran leagues, I agonized over them.
And I tell you what, call Jessica. she likes making race schedules, and they're not. I mean, and they're good. You know, like I was looking at her season 2 that she posted the other day. At first, I was a little confused. I thought we were changing the schedule with the format, and then so that confused me. And but then she's also posted where she's already working on 3 and had one. Apparently, she's got some. I personally, I want to see them run the Nordschleife. And I think that might be coming in season 3. But
season 2 is intending to take us to Indianapolis, Homestead, Miami, and Daytona. It's the sort of chaotic energy that I love to see. I actually did Daytona in F3s, and it was less awful than you'd think it is. You would think with all the draft, it just becomes like a nightmare.
Oh, no.
But actually, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that track would be fun in those cars. I'm just glad that Charlotte
This back of the track is developing into a battle, by the way. 3 wide down the start-finish straight.
Oh, my goodness.
Jessica Perry looks like she has the best of that running with Felipe Junqueira slotting in a side. Looks like Keelan Wade is just very much just slowed it off the back of that pack down the straight, especially because that was down the straight. I'm a bit curious. Jessica Perry, though.
Both of them.
Jessica hit the bumps on the inside, and Keelan goes spinning in the back at the same time. So a bit of a battle one way and a bit of a resolution another. Junqueira takes the lead position out of the fray.
All right, who's this coming up on Keelan? That was it. Was that Ian?
At Ian Miller, lapping the Keelan Wade as Ian Miller. Now within 4.2 seconds, it was 10 a few laps ago.
So I said 6 laps, and that was
I said 6, you said 3. I said 6, you said 3.
Oh, that's what it was. 4. I said 4.
I
said 4.
Felipe Junqueira, what just happened?
Wait, what? Let's see. Well, let's go find out.
Catch that replay. A self-spin and, an unfortunate rejoin, it looks like from my end, but we'll catch it from the chopper cam.
Okay.
So that happens, but, not really watching the relative. That was Jessica Perry, who has eaten a black flag as well, possibly on incidents.
Well, she's
as a result. No, because there's another incident involving Jessica just running slow, may have taken some serious damage, running slow through that chicane that you cut, and then into the back of her goes Ian Miller. That's probably an incident count penalty. You get a stop and hold every 14x in this series. And that has sent Jessica Perry to the pits. Very unlucky situation. You really have to watch your relatives when you're rejoining the track after a spin. You really have to be careful of other people, because otherwise you just end up in people's way. That's Keelan Wade also picking up a black flag of his own. This was just for an off-track, but one off-track too many. That's another stop and hold for the 555.
Yeah, and so I said 4 on the prediction thing, and you said 6, and this would be the 4th lap.
Right, you said 3. You've changed your number twice.
I promise. Go back and look. I said 4. I promise.
You want me to do this? You want me to do this?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Ian Miller just
you can fill.
You go ahead. You look. I'll talk. Ian Miller just spun it there. He's there goes my prediction. Whether it was 4 or 3 or 6 or 10. Either way, I don't think it's going to happen now, considering he is 12 seconds behind Jane again after that spin. Ian was trying to make my prediction come through of 4, which Howie will see that 4 is what I said. But this is absolute chaos out here. It's great. All right, I've decided that we're going to show a few crashes just for the heck of it. So, as they happen, we'll show a couple. Oh, that's not really a crash there. That's just leaving pit road. Apparently, at this track, when you exit pit road, it shows you as crashed because of how slow you go to exit. It's very weird. So yeah, that's a thing. So it's not really a crash, but it's
Jessica Perry, having used her fast repair this race, means she allows 9 minutes of repairs and is basically out of it as a result of that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I do have the exhibit. I've not checked it yet, so we're going to find out live. I just found the timestamp and I'm planning to play it through my phone. And yeah, you are playing twice on stream. So it's like you're in an echo chamber, but not like a political one, just like an actual chamber that echoes. Anyway, let's just play it back through my phone.
Okay.
Let's have some fun here.
It's a lock. Oh, how many laps? Oh, I'm gonna make it 6.
All right, I'm
Very precise number.
I'm gonna go with 3.
Oh, I did say 3.
Didn't edit
Okay.
it. Didn't edit it. I know what I'm doing on this track.
All right.
Give me the camera.
Okay, so next week, I got a challenge for you. Next rain event, I want you to broadcast. I'm sitting here showing the car in the pits. Why am I doing that? I want you to broadcast while driving. We're going to try that.
You really, like, I can't, I'm lead. That's not really a game I can play, I'm afraid. If you find someone else to do the job, I'll happily hit the track.
No, I know you will. And maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll bring Alice over to do one race so you can drive one race with her. That would be cool.
I got plenty of contacts as well. I got plenty in the
and
game.
Alice, Alice is supportive. We've talked about it. I talked about it briefly with her when I was doing your last race that I did with her. And
it's over. It's over. That channel's dead.
No, I don't.
You killed it.
Thanks. I appreciate that. It's my fine predictions to track in. The channel in. No, I was almost the first commentator too. But I don't think I did the first race. I think I did like your second and third race.
I remember I ran a lot of my early races with Anthony.
Yeah, you did.
Good friend of mine who runs on my team. He did a few of the early top splits. You did the Indy race. That was a lot of fun.
I did the Indy one, and I also was doing the TCR series with you.
Yes, you were, but yes, so it took a few weeks to get you involved though.
Yes.
I did solo a few weeks. Soloed a few weeks. I got a few other randos, and I actually found someone I could get on with. So
I still miss those guys. That was a good. That had potential to be a good series.
The league leader is now like a very serious IMSA racer. That's like the thing is he's like pretty much dropped out of TCR racing because he does IMSA.
What was his name? Marshall or?
No, that's miles off.
Oh.
I don't remember, but it wasn't that.
Wasn't there the guy that the league organizer's name wasn't like Marshall?
It definitely wasn't Marshall.
Okay, well, I also thought I said 4 and it was 3, and that happened like 10 minutes ago. So,
but I mean, this one was a long time ago, so I've forgotten the name as well. Oh, man. I know he posts a lot in the IndyCar server in the IMSA Sports Car channel, so I can find this.
Yeah. Why do I want to?
It was Mitch. It was Mitch. It was Mitch. You're not miles off.
That isn't miles. At least had the same first name letter.
Yeah. And yeah, he does a lot of.
He does a lot. He was listed as Mitchell.
It was Mitchell Welker.
Yep.
He does a lot of IMSA nowadays. And very, very seriously good at it. So moved on from there. But hey, I mean, everything there was like my off ramp into doing bigger, better things, and I'm very happy for it.
It's awesome. I mean, you've got some good things going on. That's awesome.
You should give me camera control 1 week and watch the magic. That's all I'll say.
Watch the magic. You're gonna switch over, but you're gonna do it in ATVO though.
I don't know. I mean, if I install SDK, I think my computer will be permanently infected. But if you don't have does SDK have remote control? If it has remote control, I would do that. Looks like it does. I'll look it up.
Yeah, it does.
I'll look it up. I'll remote control.
I don't want you to show me up on my own channel, though.
It just says this is my job now. I press more buttons and I do more than I do speaking. So,
Yes, well, and as I'm starting to do more broadcasting myself, so
Eventually, you basically have to stare at the intervals like they are sacrosanct to God, and just like absolutely watch for anything that could happen. Especially, the thing is, like, I'm amazing at like cameras on the ovals. On the ovals, I'm always in the right place at the right time, and I'm really bad at commentary on the ovals. Whereas I commentate the road better in the exchange of missing a bit more on the camera. So it's like a perfect yin yang exchange of love, really.
love. Oh, I knew this race.
Ian
was gonna
Miller,
be
5
a mess.
seconds to Jane Astra. Over the halfway mark. I've seen another saw another pass just happen, and I thought, did one of the drivers just go off? It was Soda Home on. Soda Home. It did go around on the chicane.
Ian Miller just went off track again, I believe.
Not the dreaded chopper cam. That's when you know, it's that pain. And look at all that gravel on the track. Whatever little grip there was has turned into nothing on there because whole thing's been turned into a child sand pit. Now 8 laps to make up 10 seconds, and he's not been making up the pace he used to.
No, well, he's back to 14 seconds now. He's twice gotten it down to 5 seconds and that or under, and both times he's had an incident that that has caused him to drop back. But by the same token, we have to give props to Jane here. Got out front early, right after that incident, the big incident at the start of the race, and has maintained and stayed out front the entire time. Knock on wood, no major mistakes.
Saying that is like
I know, that's why I said knock on wood. But I mean, as a commentator, I got to talk about it.
You can't undo that.
Okay, well,
It was going so good. It was going so good until you said knock on wood, and I was like, oh no.
No.
Oh no, we've lost him, and we're going to lose her into the wall. Hopefully not, though. I would like to see a clean and consistent run to the end, and
Yes.
Jane Astra's been doing a fantastic job of it.
Indeed.
Not spectacular lap times, slower than Miller's, but who needs spectacular lap times that are faster than Miller's if Miller's going to be making the odd mistake here or there? I just keep looking at the gravel on that turn. Different angles,
yeah,
and it's
everywhere. Look at
staggering.
there too, though.
It's a sand pit. We let the kids play in the sand and just drag someone to the track. Although, if they were playing in the sand pit in the rain, I would feel for them. Ian Miller has just eaten another black flag. He has spun it around and hit the 14x limit, and that's going to be a stop and hold in the pits. 14. Okay, I gotta say, 14x in the rain. That is horrifying.
Yes,
that's horrifying.
Crazy.
Although I'll say that one of the leagues I work on is a full-length NASCAR series that does 17x disqualification. Half the field was gone. Yeah, half the field was gone in Martinsville. Half the field was gone.
Yeah, that's
magic.
You know, look, in league racing, I don't think there should be disqualifications for incidents. The whole point of league racing is to, give a safe place for people to come and learn and not get destroyed like you do in officials.
Now, they are one of the most competitive oval leagues in iRacing.
Well, okay, but still,
they have 5-6 Ks fighting on full length NASCAR Cup Series. So they're tough. They're tough, and very bad at Martinsville.
So was Ian's? Are these penalties a drive-through or is it a stop? So because
it actually is a drive-through. It is a drive-through. Yes,
so he
was just able to drive through the pit lane
right there, and actually, we're not going to need to pit on this new format, are we?
Well, you shouldn't need to pit anyway unless you have enough fuel in the setup.
Okay.
A lot of people made that mistake the first time around. I see a black flag out for Felipe Junqueira as well. A little bit more of the same. That's a bit of a... I saw a bit of a curb climbing for Felipe. That's a black flag with the drive-through. Here's the aerial shot.
And that's a curve
that's
right there.
the tag that does it.
That's a curve
reporting
right
back,
there.
Jessica Perry says the car is undrivable even with the repairs, so she is having a retirement from this race and an apology to Ian. She's claimed that she deserves a penalty for letting Ian run into the back of her on the chicane as a lapped car. You know what? She can give herself any penalty she wants. It was quite the egregious slowing of the car ahead in the pit lane. But I will say that the rejoin that kicked this all off was a little bit scary.
Yeah.
So that was the right. Ian Miller hasn't lost a place in the pit lane because that's throwing out quite a lot with drivers not making errors. Now it's just about whether Jane Astra can do it for 5 more laps around this track. And I'd like to get on board with Jane and just take a look at how she is running this. How tough it is.
Let's see if we can see this camera. I was hoping we could see her inputs a little better, but we can't really.
iRacing does hide some of that information for you as a spectator.
Yes. Well, we've got several looks, and I mean, I could probably manipulate a camera so we could see stuff on her wheel.
If you're not a league admin, iRacing will often just like hide a lot of the wheel info and make it like a fixed number. Really obnoxious.
Actually, I think I am a league admin.
Whoa, Jim!
I might be.
One-upping me!
Oh, well. You left the league. You bailed on them, so I had to bring you back.
I hit the Discord. I hit the Discord server limit.
I believe it.
I do a lot of work. I have to turn down jobs now. I am now at the stage where I have to turn down jobs. So,
well,
you know.
And let me just take this time while we're talking about this to thank you for doing this with me this season. Again, great cause. We believe in it, and it's a lot of fun. And and I'm glad you did make time in your schedule as best you could. Even took the time out last week to sit in your hotel room and basically broadcast the race from a Nintendo Switch, for lack of a better description. And you did a fine job. So thank you for joining us.
I do need to check whether there's another week where I need to do that to you, by the way.
That's right.
There's a chance I have to do that to you on another week that you're really going to enjoy. It's not my most comfortable. I'll say that. It's not my most comfortable out there. So
you did good though. Nobody would have known that you were sitting in a hotel room doing it from a Nintendo Switch.
If it wasn't just pre-announced over the world. Yeah, they can stick little window. They can stick windows on anything nowadays. It's okay. It's not actually a Switch, but it's device actually looks like a Switch. So,
no, it's about
I'm
that
just
size.
telling an audience, it very much looks like a Switch, and I could barely see anything, and that was a joy. That was a really. I got my voice meter all set up on it, and that was a nightmare that almost crashed the whole thing. When does something not risk crashing the whole thing every single week here? Caitlin Soda Home picked up a black flag. I'm just wondering if this was recent or not. It might have been a prior one.
Well, she did have an incident recently, so she ran off track.
She has had an off track. Yes, this would have been the trigger of the black flag. It's snap oversteer out of the bend, and that is the sand trap corner. That's the sand trap corner. Like, you remember, I play a lot of Mario Kart competitively nowadays. This is actually a thing I do. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and you put the banana peels behind you in the race, and it feels like the whole track is just full of invisible banana peels today.
Yeah, it is actually. That's probably about how it feels driving it. We should have got Jessica to come in the booth and commentate with us a little bit. Tell us what her vision is for the
She's
league
welcome.
and things like that.
She's welcome. I just won't drag her up without her consent. But
Yeah,
I mean, she's
don't
listening.
do that.
She's been responding to me, and
Well, if you'd like to come join us and talk
she
about
fires me a
what
DM. Fire me a DM. And you're in.
if you feel like jumping in and joining us and talking about what your vision is for the league and things like that, you're more than welcome to do so. Oh no!
Okay,
There goes Jane! Jane, no!
And by the way, Oh, not only does Jane lose it, but it's a no for now on the commentary booth. So we will definitely make do. We'll make do for the next 4 minutes. And Jane with a huge off into the gravel, but not going to give up, not going to mess with that lead because it was already 20 seconds after the incident. And so she has plenty of time in the tank because also she didn't hit that wall. It would have been all over.
Oh, good job. Now, look, the reality is Jane has driven a fantastic race here, given the conditions. Very much managed these conditions, and for the most part has kept the car very clean. It's so hard to do, and that's a prime example of how you're supposed to run these kind of races. You don't have to run the fastest lap times. You just have to be consistent and keep the car on the track.
I mean, I'm sometimes in that obnoxious phase where like I'm keeping it safe and yet I'm seeing other people go fast and I'm like, how are you doing this? How are you going fast? I'm going to die here.
There's a knack to driving fast in the rain. There really is. And, there's just a feeling, I guess, that some people have. I struggle, for sure. I remember when I first got on iRacing, I jumped into some rain thing, and I thought something was wrong with the car or something. I'm like, you can't be this tough. But it was.
Yeah, the only thing that's tough about this time slot, and look, if we can influence Jessica to do anything, we could influence her to do this. You guys are clashing with open setup Indy 500 main split next week. So if you could work.
Oh, that's true, huh? That's the televised time slot, isn't it?
I'm not making it to that. But they've done an interesting thing on the broadcast this year where they're covering every split that they can. They're not going to end the stream until every split on the time slot is over.
Oh, that's interesting. I tried to find your split last night. I knew what your I rating was for oval.
Well,
and so I tried.
How they've done the splits this time? It's a bit different.
Yeah, it is. But you weren't far. The split you were in, you were actually you were one of the lower I ratings in the split you were in, I believe.
Yeah, I think I was mid-pack. Yeah, there were some pretty poor drivers, but also some pretty good ones in there. They split you by qualifying time in the Indy 500.
Yes, that's correct.
So one of my friends missed the broadcast split by 1 position. Less than 1,000th of a second. But he was in the community broadcast for the first time slot, in which another friend of mine almost won the highest I rating split. Highest I rating split, not the top broadcast split, but due to the way this worked, highest I rating because a lot of people didn't qualify, and they are then sorted by I rating.
Right.
He almost won that and lost it very, very late in the race. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to the splits,
for Jane, though,
I was split 20. So I was on the first page of the first 20 they showed in the broadcast. Here comes Jane Astra, keeping things going. We're just trying to keep the audience entertained through what has been mostly a survival challenge for the drivers. White flag is out for Jane Astra, and she has done the most surviving out of the drivers on the field. Run all 17 without a stop. One of the only 2 drivers to have not done that. It's Jane Astra and Yamil Haddad, the only 2 that have never run into the pit lane. Ian Miller's had a great race, but just 1 or 2 incidents too many, including an accident with Perry, killed his chance at a battle. It's a shame because he was faster and he continues to be faster every lap, but he's not the one getting into incidents. Jane Astra is.
Yeah, that was really a fantastic run in these conditions for Jane. Very, very impressive.
You want to talk about penalties, by the way? Jessica just laid the hammer down on herself.
No,
what I was saying.
She shouldn't do that.
Qualifying ban for driving car in an unsafe condition plus causing a collision. Best thing about being a league admin that races it, you could just penalise yourself and no one will argue with you. No one will tell you. No one will protest.
I'm arguing with her. I mean, I can appreciate that. I mean, and
I saw the incident with Ian, and I think it was fair, harsh but fair. Jane Astra crosses the line to win in Oschersleben.
After we do these interviews, I'm going to go back and find that incident on pit road, and I want to look.
It wasn't on pit road, but I can get you the clip.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think I can find it in the incident list because it was early on in the race, but
mine just didn't update today, which was great.
So let's see.
Finishing results of the race incoming. Jane Astra wins the feature race in a wet and wild Oschersleben with Ian Miller in second and Yamil Haddad in third. Caitlin Soderholm finishes fourth with Felipe Junqueira in fifth, Keelan Wade in sixth, and Jessica Perry not finishing the race. I think anyone that made it more than a few laps deserves some recognition for their bravery and honor. Would they red flag the race in this conditions? They wouldn't quite. It's not that bad, but it certainly was a very serious struggle out there, and everyone that made it out there, and everyone that hits the track every week in this league, it's an honor.
Look, the bottom line is this is a place to learn as well, and everybody that put the laps in here is going to be a better racer in the rain the next time because of what they learned here today, which is kind of the whole point as well. So props to everybody for sticking with it, and congratulations for sticking with it as well. All right, so
we're going to talk to winning drivers, and we do indeed have one. It looks like it's going to be Ian Miller. I'll have a chat. Good evening, Ian, I believe. I think I've gotten that one right.
Yes, you did.
Very, very tough conditions on the road out there, and you did just about survive. How much do you think the battle was on if you didn't eat up that penalty?
I think that penalty cost me about 20 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds, so it certainly would have been.
Well, Jessica has judged, jury, and executioned herself hard out of that one. So just one of those things that happens. How did it feel to drive out there? I mean, it didn't look easy for any of us.
I mean, it looked, I think it probably looked about as difficult as it was. It was certainly certainly very slick, and these cars are, tail happy in the dry. I don't know what it is with the diff in these things, but they're super slippery. So when you're trying to limit that rotation, it's pretty difficult here in the rain.
So
you have to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just going to point out about his.
You're still taking a points haul. You're still taking a points haul out of this race at leading the championship 58 points over 35. So you've still got a lot to look forward to heading down the line. It's still a good finish. Do you have any shout-outs or thank yous?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my beautiful wife, who's, I think, might have checked into this. If not, she certainly will later.
And make sure she likes all the channels, if you would, just so that we can get the more likes and stuff that we get for all the channels, the more people are going to see our racing. Although we might not want them to see as much of this one. So one thing I just want to point out real quick. Jessica penalized herself with a qualifying ban for the next race because of the way she stopped on track in front of you after her incident. So she actually penalized herself with a qualifying ban over that incident, just so you're aware that, so that's...
Yeah, I did see that in the chat.
So she dropped a hammer on herself. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out in case you didn't know that. But I think watching you struggle to catch Jane there a couple times, you got within 5 seconds, and then 5 or 6 seconds, and then you had a little incident each time. I think that anybody that watched your race last week knows how fast you are. I think that was a really good demonstration of how tough the conditions were out there, because obviously you're a good driver, and for people to see that, I think is important, and it puts it into perspective for people that these were some tough conditions for sure.
Yeah, and then also that snafu at the start of the feature.
Yeah, well, that was I mean, I think you made a good move to go up the middle. I think that but right
I
at
don't
that
think
same.
Jessica or Kieran saw me. Like they both waited. It
Well,
happened to
Kieran
be right
lost.
when I was alongside.
It looked like Kieran broke traction, and the car kind of turned right, and was kind of heading for Jessica's car, and right as you were going up the middle of the two of them.
Right.
It was just one of those things, but it was unfortunate. It just, wet. That's wet racing. It happens, and
Yep.
so. But anyway, congratulations again. I'm sorry I didn't mean to cut Howie off, but I wanted to point out the penalty thing, and then I got
It's your channel.
no,
Your channel.
It's not my channel.
You've done it on my channel. Of course, you'd do it on your own.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I'm seeing
Anyway,
different
Ian,
common
we'll,
denominators here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's me. I'm the. But anyway, we'll see you next week, Ian, and hopefully we'll have some dry concrete to run on next week. Be great.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. And congratulations again.
Thank you kindly.
All right.
I will choose not to complain too much about next week, but it's around a challenging track filled with off tracks and filled with peril. We're here at hopefully the same time next week at Imola. It's not one that I like running on, but it is going to be a dry asphalt for these drivers to try and push the best out of it. Any last reflections before we cut off the show for good?
No, I mean I'm looking forward to some dry racing, and just looking forward to the series growing. Anybody out there watching, come race with us. A few more drivers, and it'll get really exciting and a lot of fun. So, but and the Imola's not as bad as you make it out to be. It's not that.
Well, I'm not. I'm too racing, so that's great. That's very good.
Right.
I've been Howie Burrows alongside Jim Cunningham. Thank you for